Hi, everybody. It's Jana from Realtour, and I'm happy to announce that we are getting ready to launch our new photography pricing manager. Okay, so I wanted to create a little tutorial video that everyone can watch just to help walk you through the process of getting your pricing set up in the new system. All right, so let's get started. You're going to log into your account, same as always, land on your dashboard. Everyone has a little admin menu down on the bottom left of your screen. When you open it up, there is a link called Photography Manager. Now, we used to have, I think, 3 different links for Shoot Manager, Pricing Manager, My Clients, and if you had a team, there was a link for that as well. Well, we've bundled everything together, and now we just have one link called Photography Manager. So let's click on that. Okay, it's going to bring me into the back end. Now, by default, we're going to bring you to your shoot manager because really that's where you're going to be, most of the time. Once you set up your pricing and once you set up your team, you don't go back and forth between them that often. So our default is the shoot manager, but as you can see, we've got navigation buttons across the top, so you can jump around between anything that you need to. Okay, so pricing manager is what we're going to focus on today. So let's click on that. All right, this is what the new back end of the pricing manager is going to look like when you get there for the first time, okay? So we've got some instruction text that you can go through, but I will explain. The main point of that I'll explain as we go along. And you'll notice that we have set up 4 different types of pricing options for you. And we're hoping that this will give you the ability to create your pricing in the way that you want to. It gives you a little bit of freedom. Our old system was terrible. I mean, you couldn't do what you wanted. We forced you to set up your packages a certain way. It was really hard to use. And over the years, we really went in and mucked around with it, trying to allow people to do things they wanted. And it was just a mess. And it's hard to use and it's hard to read. Anyway, we're hoping that we have avoided that by creating 4 different types of packages that you guys can choose from. And I'm hoping it covers everything you need. So by default, we've just got basic services and packages. And I would imagine that a lot of you will set up the bulk of your pricing under basic services and packages. And that's very similar to our old system. Next, we have range services and packages. And by range, it just means that you can set up certain things if you want to do it by square footage or you want to do it by price. Anything where you want to do a range, you can set it up here. We have a la carte offerings, and I'll go through that with you, but this a la carte is the classic a la carte. It's just like our old system used to be way back in the day when you could set up individual items. I know that over the years, people have set up full packages under a la carte because it worked better for them. In the new system, a la carte is to be used strictly for little a la carte items like individual photography. And then last but not least, we are keeping our per square foot services because some of you do want to create services like Matterport tours, or maybe you're offering floor plans and you want people to pay per square foot. So you can do that as well. Okay, and just to let you know, you do not have to set up your pricing using all of these. If you find that you only need basic services and packages, you can set up all your pricing under one. Or you might find that you're going to do basic services and packages and then some a la carte, okay? You can do a mix and match, whatever you want. You can set up as many packages within each of these. It's totally up to you, okay? Now, as we go through it, you'll see that you have some freedom. You'll be able to delete things, you'll be able to move things around, so on and so forth. And like our old system, once you set up your pricing and go live with it, a few months later, you might want to come back into your back end and make changes. So you can always do that. You can always update it. It will always save, so on and so forth, okay? All right, so I'm going to take you through each of these just quickly so you can see how it works. And then we're going to log into I have a fake photography account set up for myself and I've got stuff filled in for all these, and that'll be easier for you to see, visualize how you can set up your own pricing, okay? But for now, we'll just quickly go through these. So let's say I'm going to set up a basic service and package, okay? So here we go. First thing I can do is give my package a name, right? And you guys have the freedom to come up with whatever you want. But let's just say for now, I'm just going to call this standard photography, let's just say package, okay? Now I also have a nice little text field down here where I can write a full description of what that is, okay? So let's just say that I'm going to have Under standard photography, maybe I want to have 3 little packages, okay? So I can call this whatever I want, but let's just say package 1. And I might give a little description like, this package is suitable for smaller homes and will include 20 images, right? Very, very basic. Now you guys can type in whatever you want. I think you have about 300 characters. You saw there was a little character counter as I was typing, so you'll know how much information you can fit. So there's my package 1, okay? Now over here, I'm gonna say how many images. So I said 20, okay? And then over here, we have our customer price. Now this is our first big change. In the old system, we used to have 2 columns. One was your price, the amount of money that you were gonna charge that you got to take home. And then we had the customer price, which included that additional $15 fee that Realtour charges. Okay, we've changed this now so that you're only going to enter the final price that the customer sees. So if you normally used to charge $100 for a basic photo shoot, and we tacked on the $15, making it 115, you're going to put in 115 right here, okay? So you're going to put the final price that the customer sees right here. It can include the Realtour $15. And what we are going to do now is during payroll, we are just going to deduct the Realtour $15 off of each individual invoice. And the reason we're doing that is because we discovered, now most of you, I should say, it wasn't an issue because most clients just order one package from a photographer. They pay the $15. They don't even know they're paying it. But anyway, and it just happens once. But we found, because we mucked around with our old pricing system so much, that there were some cases where clients were ordering 2 packages or 2 different items from a photographer, and the $15 was being charged twice, okay? Or, I mean, twice from the customer. The photographer wasn't necessarily paying it twice, but in a lot of cases, the client was. Anyway, to avoid all of that, it doesn't matter going forward if your client orders 2 or 3 different things from you during one transaction. Only $15 will be charged once per transaction, and that will come off during payroll. Okay, so that's why we've changed that. All right. So I've got one service set up under standard photography. Well, let's say I want 2. I just click add service, and I'm going to say this one is called package number 2. And then I can write, blah, 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 my description of what package number 2 is. And let's say package number 2 has 30 photos, and it's going to be $125, right? And then maybe I'm like, you know what? And I also want to have a package number 3. And blah, 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 blah. Type in your description. This one has 40 images, right? And it is let's just say $140. Okay? So you get the idea of how easy it is to set up a package, give it a title. You can have as many little, services within a package group as you want. Put your number of images, put the final price, okay? There's a few other things you can do in here. You might have noticed we've got a little arrow. So this was something our old system did not allow you to do, which was change the order of stuff once you had it entered. In the old system, you would have had to delete it entirely and start over again. In the new system, I could say, oh, for some reason I want this one here. I just click and I just drag it up and drop it. And now I've changed the order. It's that simple. Okay? You might decide, oh, you know what? I really don't want that. You notice there's a little delete button. If I delete this, it's not going to delete everything. It's just going to delete this little row. It's asking me, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. It's deleted. It's just that simple, okay? You'll also notice that I have the option to display as a drop-down menu. So we notice for some people, when you start setting up packages and all kinds of little sub-services and then additional packages, some people's pricing pages were getting really long. And when you're ordering photography from someone and you land on a pricing page and there's like 50 different things on it, it's a bit confusing. So we're giving you guys the option to display your pricing as a drop-down menu if you want, okay? So let's just tick drop-down menu, all right? Okay. You'll also notice on this page that we have a preview button. If you click preview, you get to see a preview of what your pricing is going to look like from the front end. So let's just click on that quickly so you can get an idea. All right, now I only have one package set up. This is what it's going to look like more or less in the front end. Here's my title, Standard Photography Package, and it's a drop down. If I open it up, oh look, there are my two packages that I kept. Remember, I deleted that third one. And this is what they look like in the front end, and you tick the one you want, so on and so forth. Now, if I want to make changes or I don't like this, I can go back to the pricing manager. If I prefer not to use displays drop down, I can go and jump back to preview. Ah, that's what it's going to look like. So I might want to keep my stuff open like this. It's totally up to you. It kind of just depends on, how many items you have. You might find that you just have too many. Let's go back to pricing manager, okay? So I just set up a basic package called standard photography. If I want to set up another one, I just click add group, and now I've got another one. And down here, I might want to call this, I don't know, let's just call this, oops, sorry, my typing is terrible. Let's just call this deluxe photography packages. Okay, and then I'm going to go through the same process. I might have a deluxe package 1, a deluxe package 2, a deluxe package 3. They might include HDR, they might include more images, they might include aerials, they might include video. You guys can make your packages however you want. They can be as complicated or as simple as you want. Okay, one more thing I want to add, and this is the same as the old pricing. If I add a group and I want to do twilight or night shoots, just like the old system, I just need to have the text twilight or night in the title. Twilight, and let's just call it night shoots. Okay, there we go. So as long as you put the word twilight or night in the shoot, you'll notice it's now considered a night shoot. And clients can only book one night shoot per day because obviously you can't do more than one. Twilight's only a certain amount of time. Okay, so that's how you look after your twilight and night shoot. So this is how you can set up your basic services and packages. So let's jump ahead to range services and packages. So same idea. I can give my package a name. So maybe I've got, photography for, I don't know, based on home sizes, right? And then I can type in a little description. And then I might say these packages are for homes that are from 0 square feet up to, let's say, 1,500 square feet, okay? And I can put in whatever I want to charge. Let's just say $140. Okay, there we go. I can add another service, type in my description, and maybe this one is for homes that are 1,500 square feet up to 3,000 square feet. Okay, put in my price. Just like the old system, if you leave the price empty, it will not display in the front end. Okay, so if you get through it and you go and check your preview and you're missing something, come back and make sure that you remembered your price. That's the only reason it won't show in the preview. Okay, so you can set stuff up per square foot, or maybe you want to add a group and have stuff set up, let's call this packages by home value. And then you've got your little description, and maybe these are for homes that are from 0 up to, let's say, 150,000. Homes that are valued at 150,000. Add another service, type in your description. These ones are from 150, whoops, sorry guys, it's Friday. 150,000 up to, 350,000, okay? And put your price in. So you get the idea, right? You can set up things in a range. Okay, pretty simple. And all the other same things apply that we went through in basic services. You can change the order of these by dragging and dropping them. You can delete individual items. You can also, and I didn't show you this before, this little guy over here, this means you can change the order of this whole group. So if I'm like, oh, you know what? I think home value is more important than square footage. I can click on this and drag it up to the top. And now my packages by home value will show up, and then followed by home sizes. Remember in the old system, you couldn't change the order of anything. It drove everybody crazy. Now you can. And if I go and check preview, I'm going to see all the stuff that I just made in preview. Now I didn't type any descriptions in there. That's why it doesn't look very nice, which is why we're going to log into my account in a minute so you can see what it looks like with real stuff in it. Okay, a la carte. All right, so as I said before, we are going to use a la carte the way it was designed back in the beginning. I know that people have used a la carte and put packages and all kinds of stuff in there because our old system did not accommodate your needs, and I'm sorry about that, but the new system will accommodate all your needs. You don't need to set up packages in a la carte. You can set up packages over here, all right? So, a la carte, please use it the way it was designed for little one-off items. Okay, first of all, we've got a base price. Now, I'm going to set a base price. Let's just say I think $65 was one of our standards back in the day. Okay, I'm going to call this just a la carte. I don't know, photography. Whoops, it would help if I could spell photography. Okay, then I'm just going to type in the classic things like still images, and I'm charging, let's say, $5 for a still image, okay? Then I'm offering HDR images. And you can type in a whole description, but these are for individual images. And for HDR, I'm charging, let's just say, $7, okay? And then let's say, you know what, I'm also gonna add in individual aerials. And maybe I charge something like $15 for each of those, okay? Now, if someone were to go in and order a couple aerials from me, $15 each, I've got my base price set up at 65. Okay, this is to avoid someone being able to order something from you for $5 and you have to go out and do the shoot for $5. That'll never happen if you have a base price set up. So for $65 is the base price, and then I'll come out and do some individual photography for you, okay? The base price is only charged if this is all the client is ordering, a bunch of individuals, okay? And they can do that if they want. If someone were to order a package from you, but then in addition to the package, maybe they just wanted a standard basic package, but they also wanted 5 aerials, they can order the basic package and then come in and order the 5 aerials. They don't pay a base price because they've already ordered standard photography package, okay? So we don't charge them $150 or whatever your fee is for that package, plus 65 plus this, okay? So they only pay the base price if they're only ordering a la carte, okay? Per square foot. This is pretty simple too. I don't know how many people are using it, but if you want to set up something like Matterport tours or floor plan services or something, and you want people to pay based on square footage, you can do that right here. So again, you're going to give it a name, call it maybe my Matterport tours. And you might have 3 different tours. You might have Matterport tour, standard Matterport tour, and then you might have a deluxe Matterport tour that includes, you know, still photography and a few other items. However you want to do it, as you've seen, you can add as many services underneath each heading as you want, and then you just put in your square footage. Maybe the basic one is 10 cents, and then maybe the deluxe one is, I don't know, let's just say 20 cents for whatever reason, right? You guys can come up with your pricing. And again, I can change the order of these. I can display it as a drop down. I can delete individual items. I can delete the entire group. If I've made a big mistake and I just don't want it in here, I can do all that stuff, okay? So that's a really quick run through of how to set up your pricing. And I know you guys are very computer savvy and you're used to our old pricing, so this shouldn't be that hard to do. I'm hoping it's pretty intuitive, and I'm hoping it gives you the freedom that you want to set your stuff up the way you want. Okay? Now I'm going to log out of this account and I'm going to log into my own. I have a little fake photography account set up under my name. Okay, so I've logged into my little photography account. I'm on my dashboard, going down here, choosing Photography Manager. So this is what my back end looks like. I don't have any shoots because I'm not a real photographer. I don't have a team button because I don't have a team. Everything else is the same. I'm going to click on Pricing Manager. All right, so I've taken a bit of time yesterday and just filled in. Again, these are all fake, but I just wanted you to see what it could look like when you've got more stuff in. So under my basic services, I've got my first package. I've just called it Standard Home Packages. And then I have 3 kind of sub packages within that. Basically, it's for like small, medium, and large, right? You've got 20, 25, 30. There's my pricing. I'm displaying that as a drop down, okay? So that's what that can look like. Then I thought, oh, you know what? I'm going to have Standard Plus. So these packages are a little better. They've got a little more stuff. My description's saying that, oh, it's suitable for a bigger home. It includes, you know, HDR. It includes some aerial. However you want to do your packages, right? There's my number of images. There's my pricing. And I've set that up as drop down. Then I've got, estate deluxe home packages. These are the really good packages, right? So I've described what they all include, number of images, pricing, drop down. And then I've added twilight and night shoot packages as well. And you can tell because I've used the word twilight. I've also used the word night, but you can use one or the other, however you want to call it. The little night shoot thingy is here, so I know. I've got 2 of those. I've displayed it as drop down. Okay? So that's what that looks like. Range services. Now I've done some packages by house size. So I've got 3 sub packages. Okay. 0 to 1,000, 1,000 to 3,000, 3,000 to 5,000 plus square feet. Okay. And you can type in the square footage or the plus symbol. We've left these open so that you have the freedom to put in what you want. Okay. I'm also doing that as a drop down. And then I've also got some packages set up by home value. So 0 to 200,000, 200,000 to 500,000 plus. You get the idea, right? A la carte. Again, I've just done still, HDR, some panos, and some aerials. These are classic a la carte items that people will be purchasing from you, okay? Per square foot. I've just set up a Matterport, and I've done a floor plan, and there's my pricing. Okay, so I want to take a look at what the preview looks like now with all of these set up. And this is how it's going to look more or less in the front end. All right, now look at this. I've got everything set up as drop down. So when someone lands on my page, oh no, I did keep the services open. Okay. When someone lands on my page, instead of having to scroll down forever to see all of the sub packages I have set up, they just get a nice, neat, and tidy title. Ooh, standard home packages. I wonder what those include. Open it up. Ah, here's 3 packages. Oh, I like the look of that. Tick, that's the one I'm going to go with, okay? Or untick. Okay, I can go through and check all of these, make sure they are the way I want them to be. If I see a mistake, I can jump back to the pricing manager, go to where I saw the mistake, fix it. Maybe it's a typo, maybe I don't like the order it's in, and then I can always jump back to preview at any time. Okay, also on the preview, I have the option of changing the order of how these are, okay? Because they're basically the order is just in the order that I've created them. So once I land on preview, I'm going to see, oh, if I started with per square foot, they're going to show first. All right, so let's just say, I kind of think, first of all, changes. I don't think I want to have this open, right? Everything else is a drop down. I think I'll keep this as a drop down. That's my services by square foot. Let's go back to pricing manager, go back to per square foot, and tick display as a drop down. Okay, and I get a little feedback. I know it's saved. That's another thing. A lot of the times we don't like to have a save button just to simplify the process. Because you guys are computer savvy, we don't have a save button. Every time you make a save, it saves automatically. Check my preview. Okay, scroll down. Aha, now everything is a neat and tidy drop-down menu. Now, for some reason, I'm thinking, maybe I want my a la carte photography to be at the top, right? Just because those are little individual pictures. If I want to move this, I just click and drag it up to the top. Whoops. Move that one down. There we go. A la carte photography. There it is. And then I'm thinking, it might be kind of nice for it to be open. Everything else can be a drop down, but I want those to display open. Back to pricing manager, a la carte, deselect. Okay, the display is drop down. Back to preview. Aha. So this is what it's going to look like when someone lands on my page. Individual pictures are open up, nice and displayed for everyone to see. Everything else is a drop down. Okay, beautiful. Isn't that nice and neat and tidy, right? Isn't this so much better than the old system? I hope you guys think so. Okay, so that's basically what your pricing can look like, however you want to set it up. Now, one more quick thing. I'm actually going to log in again as me, and I'm going to order a photo shoot so we can actually see what it looks like from the front end. Okay, I'm going to go to photo, and pretend I'm a client. I'm going to photo shoots. Okay, this is my listing that I'm going to choose photographer. Okay, now you'll notice these are all fake photographers. We have Carl, Michael, and myself. Okay, this page is more or less the same. We've just cleaned it up a little bit. Okay, we've just tidied it up. We've gotten rid of all the blue and stuff, so it's a little cleaner. It's a little more modern. Here's me and my contact information, the services I offer. Here's my little slogan. I happen to have a driving fee, so we've got that front and center for this particular listing. Here's my calendar. My portfolio can link to any portfolio you guys have. You can set that up under my account and the contact info where it says my website. You just put in your website URL and that's what your portfolio will link to. If someone clicks on pricing, they get a nice little simple version of my pricing. Look, ta-da! This is what we saw on the back end. Isn't that so much nicer than the old system where you would have to scroll down forever? Now we have a nice little pop-up window and I can expand, okay, close, so on and so forth. Very easy to use. If this is the photographer I want to go with, I'm going to click on the date I want. That's the same as always. Now I've landed on the actual order form page. So again, same as what we saw below. Or in my back end, here's my a la carte photography, which I told to, display as open, and everything else is a drop down, right? Okay. If I want something, I want 5 still images, and it immediately shows me the price. I didn't have to tick it to say I'm committed. I can just type in, I want 7 of those, and it automatically calculates the price. So I can go, oh, whoa, $35, that's a little much. I'm going to go back to 5. Calculates the price. Okay, I want this, and I want that, right? It now shows me that this includes a base fee of $65. Oh, okay. So I can't just get these 2 items, right? For that, I have to add, there's an additional $65. Okay, so that makes sense. And then my total's over here. Okay, I'm going to deselect those because I don't want to do a la carte. I'm going to scroll down and say, oh, I'm going to do a home. Okay. Oh, this looks good. You know what? This is the one I want. $115. There's my total, $115. I can continue and move on. Okay, if that's all I want. Let's close that. Let's just take a quick look at services by square foot. Okay, now if the client had already filled in the square footage when they were creating the listing, which some clients do, but some clients don't, then that number would already be here and all of these calculations would already be sitting here, right? Already done for them. But a lot of clients don't take the time to do that, as we all know. So they can come in and put their square footage in this field, or if they don't see this field, which happens all the time, we have it right here in front of them. So they could say, okay, well, my house is 2,500 square feet. So if I want a Matterport tour from this photographer, it's going to cost $375. If I wanted to do floor plans at 25 cents, it's 620. Wow, that's a lot of money for a floor plan. Anyway, you get the idea, right? This little form is a working form. You can type in stuff and you get the calculation there. You don't have to commit. It just shows you what it's going to cost. Okay? That's all you do. So let's take a look at the by value. There we go. Same thing. If you set up something with a range, it just shows nicely, oh, from $0 to $200,000. Okay, square footage, same thing. These are packages set up, for homes by square footage. Okay, same idea. I think you guys are smart enough. You get the idea. Let's just pick a package. I just want a standard package. Okay, $115, $115. Continue. Brings me to the instruction page. Again, this page is the same. We've just kind of reorganized it, tidied it up a little bit, made it a little bit cleaner. Okay, these are the 4 options. Meet me at the property, e-keys, lock boxes, the owner will be home. Is there a security gate? My contact information as the client will always be here. They cannot get beyond this page without this phone number. Ideally, they've already added the phone number under my account, right? And then it would be here automatically, but for those who don't, they have to add it, okay? Any additional instructions they can type in and then they add it to the shopping cart. And here it is in the shopping cart. I pay for it and it is booked, okay? I'm going to delete it so I don't accidentally book it. So that is it, all right? So we're going to set this up. This is set up on one of our dev sites right now, and everybody can log into that dev site. I'm going to send everybody an email on how to do that. You can set up all of your pricing on the dev site. It will not affect your pricing on the live site. Once everybody's pricing is set up on the dev site and we've discovered no additional bugs, no additional issues, then we will go live with the dev site, and that dev site pricing, the new pricing that you guys are setting up, will override the old pricing, okay? And everything will be so much better and it will be easier for you guys. You'll have so much more freedom and it will be so much nicer for our clients, clearer and easier for them to make their ordering, okay? And that concludes the new Pricing Manager tutorial.